Hey everybody, welcome to GeekStorm. I'm Sean Hilton, owner of Comics Cube, founder of the Kokomocon, and currently involved in creating some scholarships for children so that they can go off to college and live their best lives possible. Today, I am joined by the bestest friend in the whole world, Robert Nicholas Gray, known to Nick or Nitch to his many friends out there in the world. So, any fan mail, you should probably send it to NICH, so that way he is assured to get his fan mail. And you can send all that fan mail to 111 in the heart of downtown Kokomo. That's, just 111 downtown Kokomo. They'll figure out where it goes.
Mail just being stuck places.
Just wherever there's a 111. Who knows? So today we're going to talk about Bohemian Rhapsody, the biopic of Queen. We're going to touch on some Red Dead Redemption, talk about some gameplay, as well as some of the money going on. Call of Duty. Hey, he just said Call of Duty.
I'm excited for Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty just came out. We'll touch on some of that and a few things dedicated to some television. So, first up, what would you like to talk about today, good sir?
Oh, we can kick it off with the Bohemian Rhapsody because we'd already chit-chatting about that.
All right. So, Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen biopic just came out. We saw it last night.
We did.
What were your thoughts before we get into the nitpicking?
Flat out, I say go see the movie. I think it is a good movie, especially for like Queen. The music is just. I think he lip synced. It's his soundtrack, right? I don't think they recorded anything.
I would imagine he was singing,
but they took the dubs. All the Queen music. It does, like you mentioned earlier when we were talking. It doesn't have any really happy high notes, but I still think it's a really good movie. Doesn't dig in super deep into I think some things, but I very much enjoyed it. Like you said, you kind of got chills a couple of points, and kind of got balled up there towards the end.
I got goosebumps a few times as some of the music would kick in. Mm-hmm. Overall, I agree. I think it's worth seeing. However, I felt it was a surface level biopic that didn't bother to pull out any shovels to do any digging. Now, to be very clear, huge Queen fan. Love Queen. Own it everything but digitally and 8-track. I own Queen on vinyl. I own Queen on cassette. I own Queen on CD. Huge fan. In fact, Freddie Mercury is at the top of my list of musicians to resurrect over anybody else. To see a concert with Queen in their heyday, that would be my time travel thing to go see, a full show. So huge fan. But this was a glossy surface level biop. They showed.
I don't know if I'd say glossy.
They showed the bad.
Yeah.
But they showed it in such a way I felt that that they could have gone a lot deeper. Not that we want to besmirch the name or memory of Freddie Mercury, but I thought that it felt like kitty gloves were being used in a lot of levels.
Yeah, I mean you definitely tell it's PG-13 because I think there's only really two points you ever hint at drug use.
Yeah. There's no nudity.
No. There's one scene in a car where I think somebody hands him a pill.
He pops a pill
and then
never says what it is.
Nope. So
and then at one point we look at a coffee table that's covered in
white
Coke,
powder. Yeah.
But and he makes a comment about something about euthanizing humanity or something like that.
It's humanity being human takes painkillers.
So something of that nature.
But yeah, only really gloss over that aspect of it.
They capture the likenesses of the band, I thought, very well. They captured the style of the time period very well. And for those who are just coming into Queen, I think that this could be a really good way to learn some of the background about the band. I said I knew quite a bit, but they bring it up and they have fun with the way they discuss it. It looks good, it sounds good, but at the end of the day, I don't believe it's going to be a very memorable movie. I don't think it's going to stand the test of time as being something. There's still a lot of room for another Queen biopic, as far as I'm concerned, to really, or even just a hard-hitting documentary style.
Yeah,
that can really, show us what was going on.
The movie really takes place from the just before the beginning, like the week before the beginning of Queen, essentially.
Yes.
And then it takes you up to Live Aid. So, but you kind of get it at the beginning.
Yeah.
So
we cover some of the bigger albums, but again,
Yeah.
we don't mention the Flash Gordon soundtrack. They don't really mention It's a Kind of Magic. Bohemian Rhapsody gets obviously the.
would have been a little weird if they didn't talk about that one.
Yeah, they talk about certain songs and they portray certain songs, but
The car song.
like "We Are Champions" is not brought up at all until it's actually played.
Yeah.
They do bring out that Brian May comes up with "We Will Rock You" as a way for the fans to be
Interact.
a part of the band, and I thought that was a really cool idea. I've always loved the song, but never knew that that's what it was about. But it was, according to the movie, specifically created so that that stomp, stomp, clap was on purpose so that every place they ever played for the rest of their lives, that every fan could be involved directly with the band.
Which was kind of inspired by, I forget which concert they said it was, where it was like the largest at that time.
Rio.
Rio's
done that a couple times.
where it largest sold, and the fans were singing the songs back home because they didn't know if they could even knew the words.
Yep.
And they said that part was amazing, and so they wanted to be, interact, and that was what developed that.
So all in all, I think worth seeing, but the most recent one that I can compare it to would have been the NWA movie.
That one is one I didn't see.
That one is far superior. Okay. That one has a story that I just think, as I said, and between the two, Queen's way up here compared to NWA for me. But just story-wise, being a detached reviewer, I would have to say that between the two of them, the NWA movie's actually a superior film.
I have to say, I think the Queen one, how like I said, doesn't have happy notes. It's gritty, but not gritty enough for Into the Life. And then it doesn't. It stays really like in this narrow line, and it doesn't go too far off of into this way or this way, to kind of. I think it delivers the message and shows.
Your emotion is dulled through the whole thing. There are some laugh out loud moments, but even like the Live Aid thing, which is like the big grand finale, and it gave me some chills a couple of times, but it didn't like, that feeling of uplifting, like you're kind of raw that you get from
There was a neat scene of the above from the Live Aid that they shot there that last night actually after I went home. I read a thing that they're talking about, like you can see the sound wave as it moves to that giant crowd.
Yes.
And I was like, that's in the movie, and I was like, that's kind of cool. I was like, that was a neat thing.
I'm pretty sure that the drummer is. They show like there's two older guys as roadies, like hanging up
there,
and then there's two younger guys. I don't know who the two younger guys were, but I'm pretty sure that the two guys up top are members of the original band.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. So if you like Queen, go check it out. On to other things.
Well, what do you got next?
You know what? A little editorial.
Okay.
Just off the cuff here. Halloween.
Ooh.
Halloween has become this giant industry, which I love. It is the kickoff now to the holiday season. It's no longer Thanksgiving, which has been killed in the war on Christmas. It was one of the victims. Love Halloween. Super fun. And I think a lot of us, as soon as September hits, we're all planning Halloween stuff. Parties, costumes, all that sort of thing. But the version of Halloween that I grew up with as a kid is now dead. I put the stamp on it, put a couple shovelfuls of dirt, mourn it, and move on. Because I can tell you that, at least in our area here in the Midwest, in Kokomo, Indiana, where we film in the heart of downtown Kokomo, this fine show, trick-or-treating for children is dead. You now get your kids in their costumes, because that's still fun. You go to the 4 houses of friends and family that you know, and then you go to trunk-or-treats or malls or enclosed things or things like that. But the just going up and down to strangers' houses, like hit a block, go to the next block, go to the next block, that's dead. I cannot tell you how many people I've seen on Facebook of close friends that are showing the leftover candy bowls that have been touched, again, by like the 4 kids that showed up. And I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. This isn't me being curmudgeon-y about it. That's just the reality. If I was a parent that I had, you've got 3 kids and I had to get them all done up and taken someplace, there was like 9 trunk or treats on Halloween. I can go to one spot, which should be fairly safe because a lot of them are run by churches or groups that you're going to feel a level of trust with, not just strangers that are out there in the world. And you can boom, 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 hit all this stuff, have a little party, get in the car, go to the next one. You know, as I said, so I don't think it's a bad thing, but I do believe that the idea of just, you know, running around neighborhoods anymore it's not done officially. It's still legal, but I didn't have a single person show up. My buddy Bobby, I think, did you go over to their house?
Yes.
I think he said he had like 4 kids show up.
When we stopped by to see,
and that's a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, when we stopped by to say hi, they were the only house that had lights on.
Really?
Anyways, so that, I mean, for that neighborhood,
Yeah.
if you're the only house, man. But yeah, we
Now,
went,
somebody that has 3 kids that are at the prime trick-or-treating age, like
we
they
walked
are.
the neighborhood.
Did you?
Yeah.
And how was it? I mean, well, you're in a weird neighborhood. I don't know how you could even walk your neighborhood.
We didn't walk our neighborhood.
You went to somebody else's
Yeah,
neighborhood.
we went to
Okay.
their grandparents.
I know.
neighborhood.
All right, so how was that, though? So looking at that part, because I didn't get over there, I mean, was it active?
That neighborhood was full of kids. Like,
Was it?
Yeah, I had to
Okay.
it took me forever to get to there because the street was full of parents and
All right.
children. Now, that being said, once we started, walking, because we went to that neighborhood last year, there was fewer houses giving out candy.
Really?
So, and like that neighborhood, the outside lights are automatic. I think it's part of like the,
Yeah.
so it's like harder to tell. So you have to look for doors that are open. So,
Okay.
but yeah, like there was definitely, and some of the houses that were like fully decked out for Halloween, not giving out candy.
Wow.
I was like, oh. So, but I mean, it was just kind of weird walking up and down the street and going around though. That like, I felt like there was less people giving out candy this year, at least over there. But like in certain areas of it, there was decked out people. But a lot of people were like loaded up in cars and like had the hatches open on vans going down the street, and they were just hopping out.
Interesting.
They were like instead of walking it, they were like speed trick or treating, like looking for the open door, stop, everybody gets out.
Get him.
Yeah, it was like watching a SWAT team, like pour out of a van. It was like I literally watched it one time. Like this van pulls up, the doors are open, the back hatch is open. It's like a copter landing in Nam, and all like the troops come out. They like swarm the house, swarm back in, or if there was a house next door, it was like they raided the house, raided the next house, read back to the van, and the van goes to.
Oh, that's great.
So I mean, they're taking the walking out of it, which is like. Was always in my mind, at least you're getting some walking in with all this candy.
Like, get your steps in.
But now I guess we're taking that out.
So if it's not dead, then it has definitely evolved.
It's different. It's very different from when I was a kid.
Yeah. It used to be back when I was a kid. I mean, you could go to a block and there might be 3 lights out. I mean, you would hit house after house after house after house, and now you get a lot of steps in to fill up a bag.
Like I said, it was. For when we walked, we went to her, parked the car at her grandfather's house, and then went, I think, 5 houses down, and then 4 houses, and then 8 houses.
All right, so they weren't that close together.
No, like it was like, but like we walked it all.
Gotcha.
But then it got more as we went to the other direction. But yeah, there was a lot less houses.
Okay. That's just
or just had people hiding in the back.
That's just my editorial on Halloween. So CBS All Access, a streaming station, we love that kind of stuff because they're becoming more and more popular. Love it, hate it, whatever. Has ordered not 1, but 2 seasons of a Star Trek animated comedy.
Yes.
Done by one of the writers for Rick and Morty.
Yes.
So now we're in that situation now where we're going to do kind of a Star Trek parody, but it's not. It's official. It's real. It's Star Trek.
That's my thing. I was like, how Star Trek is the Star Trek, it's officially licensed Star Trek thing, and how comedy. I mean, if you've seen Rick and Morty, then like.
Yeah.
I'm like, how
is it going to have that kind of crazy animation, or is it going to be a little more
when is the
streamlined?
crossover? When is the crossover?
When is the crossover?
Well, I was like, I guarantee though that there will be. I doubt there's ever going to be a crossover. I really do truly doubt there's a crossover. But I'm willing to bet that in the background animation for probably both shows,
we'll have to see it.
There'll be a couple. I mean, I think there's already some Star Trek references in Rick and Morty already.
Are there?
But I think you'll probably see a couple more heavy-handed kind of background things, and both shows kind of.
But not 1 season 2.
I know that's crazy.
It almost makes me wonder if it's almost not like buying business cards at this point. 500 is going to cost you $7.50, but 1,000 is only going to cost you $8.50.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, because you guys think CBS All Access probably isn't going to be like 22 episodes. They're probably going to be 10 or 13 episodes a season.
Rick and Morty, I think it's 10.
Is it 10? So 10 episodes, you know what? You're already getting that voice talent in the booth. You're already, getting this all set up. At that point, if you're going to do 10, the budget's probably the same as doing one regular season of something else. Might as well go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what comes out of that. Just
makes me
I was
think
caught
that
off guard by
that
the whole thing.
the Orville has probably had a direct effect on this.
Yeah, because it's done really well.
Yeah, they've got to be looking at Seth MacFarlane, what he's got away with by doing the Orville as basically his private comedic tribute to Star Trek.
Yeah, very
and
blatant.
Then did really well.
Yeah, and I say,
so,
and for being a show that the Orville it has comedy in it,
it's
it's
got
got
fart joke kind of comedy once in a while.
Then it turns around and it has some great sci-fi and actually some very good dramatic moments.
There's some very poignant moments. I've been saying for a while that I think that Seth MacFarlane wanted to do a Star Trek.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it done. Got them to agree to do a comedy, and is now slowly but surely pulling a bait and switch.
Yeah.
It seems like we started off with a lot more fart jokes, and they're still there.
No, yeah.
But as we get further and further along, it gets a little more drama. There's a little more Star Trek.
Yeah.
It definitely feels Star Trek.
It feels like it definitely portrays like a more of a modern Star Trek.
I got to think that CBS, and now CBS All Access, had to have looked at this and goes, you know what? They're making a lot of money off of what we could have been making money off of if we'd done it.
Yeah.
We can make it official, slap the Star Trek name on it. So, unfortunately, we know they've got the writer. We know that they've signed up for 2 seasons, but we don't know when and where we're going to see
I wouldn't
it.
expect. I'd say the earliest is going to be fall 2019.
Probably.
Absolute earliest.
But because it's on All Access, I mean, they can drop anytime they want.
It's true.
Because
as they
the
get one episode
streaming
done, they
service-
can just plop them in if they want.
So we'll see how that all turns out. I'll be very, very curious. Couple movie things of note that are being talked about are coming up. Ridley Scott has come out and said yes, Gladiator 2
I saw that.
will be in the works, featuring a young boy that was seen in the first movie, who I don't recall the name. It was Lucius.
It's been a minute since I've seen Gladiator. I remember very much.
18 years ago, if he starts filming now, that means we're probably not going to see this thing until 2020. So we're going to see the Gladiator sequel in time to see the 20th anniversary.
They can play them back to back.
They could.
I remember enjoying. Again, it's been a while since I watched it.
I
remember
won
I liked
Best
it.
Picture that year.
I think
Academy.
I actually liked that movie.
It's a good movie. It's solid. I've enjoyed it quite a bit.
I'll have to rewatch
and it also, in my mind, if my memory serves me correct, is one of the movies that helped start the whole earlier start to summer. Because that movie came out, I want to say March, something like that. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't, from January through about your big summer movies was kind of this dry period. And Gladiator was one of the first movies that took that lull and jumped on it and then wrote it. And now, like this year, I think it was Black Panther. Every year now we've got 1 or 2 movies that now try to take that lull period and jump on board and do something with it. Unfortunately, again, no real information yet. Russell Crowe had gone ahead and had a script written years ago that was all kinds of video game kind of nonsense. Some people really loved it when they read the script, but this has nothing to do with that. I would almost doubt we see Russell Crowe in anything more than a cameo at this point. The last couple times I've seen Russell Crowe, he is he's definitely more the Emperor than the Gladiator, I would say, at this point. So it'll be interesting. And then Martin Short has come out again and said, Bad Boys 3, it's happening. It's going to happen. And with Will Smith, I haven't seen...
Not Martin Short.
Not Martin Short, I'm sorry, Martin
Lawrence.
I apologize.
I was like, wait,
I won't
Martin
lie.
Short?
Martin Short in a Bad Boys movie.
I thought you were about to tell me that they're making a Three Amigos sequel, and I was like... and then I was like...
And completely unrelated to that, because I always get him and who's the guy from Ghostbusters? I'm thinking of the 2 Canadian. No. The Canadian beer movie.
Yeah, Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis. So boom, boom, wrong, and wrong. All right, so Martin Lawrence has come out and said Bad Boys 3 is going to happen. Will Smith, I don't know. The last thing I can remember really seeing Will Smith in that went over fairly well was a Netflix movie from last Christmas.
Which was very divided, but I think overall, I mean, they're making a sequel to it, so
I liked it.
So,
yeah. For a Netflix movie, I felt like I got my money's worth. So, and I'd like to see. I like Will Smith in those fun roles, and I'd like to see him in more of that kind of thing. So, we will see what happens. So hopefully we'll get some movement on it, because that's been another probably 20 years or something crazy like that.
We don't put them too close together.
Yeah,
got to let them really mull over that last movie.
Let it grow a little bit. So, man. So let's talk about some Red Dead Redemption. I know you picked it up.
I picked it up. I've played a little bit of it. I haven't had as much time to sit down and really super dive into it like I would have liked to have. But yeah, it's
so brand new video game from Rockstar Games.
From Rockstar.
Sequel to
estimated $80 to $100 million is what it costs to make that game.
80 to 100 million.
That is the estimated the estimates that have come out of what it costs to make that game. Which
that probably doesn't include promotion.
It
just
may.
a creation.
It may, but that is the most. If those projections are true, that is the most expensive video game ever made.
And what did it make in a week?
No, not even a week. 3 days.
3 days. What did it make in 3 days?
$725 million.
Seems like a good return on investment.
So they paid for the game. They kept the lights on. They paid for the game.
Rockstar did all right in 3 days.
3 days, and that took the number 2 spot, not even the number 1. It took the
Well,
number
that's Grand
2
Theft
spot.
Auto, which did like $1 billion in 3 days.
$1 billion in 3 days. So another Rockstar game, Grand Theft Auto 5, did $1 billion in 3 days. So they're doing all right.
Done $750 million in 3 days, but they put it out just in time for fourth quarter for the holidays.
Yep.
So this is going to be a big holiday gift game.
Yeah.
So there's another couple $100 million probably. Plus on top of it, you've played it, so I'll ask: is there room in this thing for loot box / outside purchases, upgrades? We know there'll be DLC.
Yeah, DLC is
That's a given.
So they haven't fully activated the online mode yet.
Okay.
At least I had when I started playing the other day. So when that goes live, possibly.
Yeah.
But
because I could see them doing a thing where you walk into the tailors, and now you can walk out wearing whatever costumes, but they'll cost you $1.50 of real money.
I have a feeling that they'll stick to because I mean they've done that with the Grand Theft Auto, where you could buy the money and you could earn the money, and then you could buy different stuff and upgrade stuff. So I mean they did that with that, so I'm assuming it'll be the same kind of motif.
Which version did you buy for your self-play?
PS4.
PS4. Now, did you get a standard edition?
I got special.
Was there a gold edition?
I got the special
a platinum edition?
I didn't look into how many different editions. I got the special edition.
What was special about your edition?
It comes with some extra preloaded DLC content and then like a map thing.
Okay, so not in fact a soundtrack from New Edition for Red Dead. Huh, sad. Call it New Edition. I expect there to be some music from New Edition.
It's a special edition.
Special edition. That's not the same band, so that's
it's
different.
Not. I don't know if that is a band.
Yeah, it's okay. So gameplay-wise, I know you've got a lot of time to play it, but I know you've got on a horse and rode it.
Very pretty game. Playing around with it, it's immersive. The snow, because it starts off in kind of a snowy opening. You're running from the law. And you're like part of a posse, and
you're part of a posse, or you're being chased by the posse.
I guess we're being chased by a posse. You're part of a gang that is of outlaws that are trying to run away from them after another deal goes south in Blackwater, which is a mentioned place from the last Red Dead game. But the way the snow moves, and then as the horse or you go through it, is just amazing. I mean, it's pretty amazing physics. If you lose your hat and you forget to pick it up, you have lost your hat, which I found out. Because there's a little tutorial thing as it walks you through stuff, and it tells you how to pick up your hat, and it's like, go get your hat. And I pick it up at that time, and then the next time my hat came off in a fight, I forgot to go pick it up, and I don't have a hat now. And then everybody else has a hat. I'm the one guy that doesn't have a hat. So
it's easy to know which character is yours.
It is. I can spot when I'm writing. It was. I will say, it is easier when I'm writing in a big group of people and horses. I can see which one's me because everyone else has a hat. I'm the hatless guy.
You get to make your character? Is there
No.
a character generation? It's a standard character.
Rockstar sticks with the standard, hey, this is who you're playing. So,
Gotcha.
but so gameplay wise, the controls seem solid. You get that Wild West outlaw feel. In the opening, like I said, I've not made it super far into it. You kind of are the good outlaws. I mean, yeah, you're robbing people and killing people, but you have the heart too. So there's like some women folk that are in this group of outlaws that you're trying to take care of. Like the head of the thing is trying to take care of these people and make sure they don't starve and freeze to death, as well as get paid. So, okay. But yeah, there's like hunting. The wildlife is pretty crazy. There's like all sorts of YouTube videos of like the wildlife going like nuts and like mauling people, like NPCs as you're talking to it. So just wolves are pretty. Will take down a horse and a person pretty quickly if you're not careful.
Wow.
So, yeah, if you're riding through a wolf area, they'll just tear you down.
Are you speaking from experience?
I mean, there's an early mission that took me. The first time I did it, because you're still learning the controls, yeah, man, wolves just ate those people.
Now, I'm under the impression your wife, who has played it also, she hates horses, like in real life. Because in the fake game, she's killed 4 of them now.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you can. So, very much to real life, you can ride a horse to death. The horses are not like, if you're used to Skyrim, you can ride that horse and you can like do the tap button or you can get it to run and like it's going to, lose its stamina, but it's going to, take you all the way where you want to go. No, not in this game. No, you will, you keep doing that and you ride that horse and it's going to just have a heart attack and die and it'll collapse.
So I believe that Lauren is on. Is she on horse number 4, or is she killed 4 horses and on horse number 5?
At this point, I can only assume it's like horse 7 or 8.
Lauren, why do you hate the horses? Why do you hate them? They just want a sugar cube and some apples. I've seen the movies. I know how this works.
Yeah, but new to this is you actually do have to eat and monitor like your supplies and stuff.
Okay.
So
interesting.
A little bit of a survival in there. So.
Very cool.
But yeah. It's a solid game. I mean, already made $725 million. It's gonna
doing all right.
It'll hit $1 billion, I'm sure of it.
I picked up the Lego Villain game, but haven't actually even taken it out of the cellophane yet. But I have that. That one seemed to creep up on me from nowhere. I don't know how that got by me. I love Lego. I like those games. I like DC. So, I saw a commercial and like what? And then my wife went out and bought it. So, it's really hers, which is weird. I think she bought it for me, but said it was hers.
She can play with you.
So we'll probably try it. We'll see. She's not much of a video game player. On the same realm of video games, but breaking out into several different things, we've got the popular Witcher franchise.
Yes.
Originally written by some guy over in, Iceland?
It's probably
Hungary.
It's probably Martin Short. I'm pretty sure.
Martin Maybe it was Rick Moranis.
Maybe it was Leslie Nielsen. Who knows?
But either way, super popular video game franchise that was based on a series of books that I had never heard of. I had no clue that this was a series of books. I won't lie.
I definitely knew the video game before the book.
The first time I'd heard or seen of a Witcher book, I thought it was an adaptation or a spin-off of the video game.
That's the very first time I discovered that there was a book. I thought it was the same thing because, like, Mass Effect video game series, books spun off from that. Like I thought it, very not uncommon. Like so I was like, oh, hey, there's a Witcher book. Cool.
Polish. All right, so he's a Polish writer, and the video game guys came to him and said, listen, we want to buy the rights to do this video game, and we'll pay you this amount of money and these kind of royalties. And the writer comes out and says, no, you're never going to make any money. Video games don't make any money. Pay me all my money up front. Which they do. They paid him all legitimate. There's contracts. There's nothing shady about any of this business whatsoever.
He made the terms of the deal. They said okay. They signed the contract. They gave him all the money he asked for.
Then years later, now he is taking them to court to get royalties that he literally turned down when they offered it to him. He wants $16.4 million in back royalties. Again, which the game developers tried to pay him originally, and he said, no, you'll never make any money. Now he wants money. Your thoughts?
It should be a short court case because there are, like you said, literally contracts signed that, And it was very open that they wanted to be like, hey, we want to give you this amount of money and then this X percentage of game sales. And he was like, no, that's dumb. No, give me all my money. I want this much money.
Yeah.
And you know what? This much money was a lot less than what the other would have been.
$1 million. Just like, what are you thinking? And I saw, I read an interview somewhere, and this is what he said for the reasoning. Well, I had no idea it would make that much money.
I saw the same thing. I'm like,
seriously, that's what you're going in with. I had no clue.
I've had in the past opportunity to buy stock that all of a sudden is like, whew, man, if I would have bought that, there's no recourse. It's not like, man, I had no idea that stock was going to hit.
Yeah, I wish I'd bought that. I'm going to sue him so I can buy it for that original price.
I had a chance to buy that toy. Now it's worth $500. I had no idea.
On top of all of that, now it's been licensed for a Netflix series.
Yes.
Featuring Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Which has just had some his test shot.
Yeah, I think
has come out with him in the hair as the character from The Witcher.
Yeah, I hope that's not full makeup for anybody. I know everybody's mind, because I honestly have not actually read the original Witcher books.
Okay.
But everybody's mind, the look of that Witcher should be the Witcher's video games.
Yes.
So the hair is good, but like the way he walks out and like it shows him drinking a potion, and like even that part I thought was very much reminiscent of the animations in the video game. But he's very much too pretty, I think. He's too clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
I haven't played the game and I haven't read the book, but just as a character in my mind, hearing what he's about and seeing the commercials about the video game and what he does. Now, of course, this was just a test.
And it's like a medievalist.
Yeah.
Like so like he's just like pristine. Yeah. I was like, I really hope.
He looked like he was on the High Council of the Krypton science thing or something.
Yes, and what I told you, which most people don't know, the Witcher world is actually the medieval Krypton. Yeah, so that's fact.
Yep. You should double check it. But bringing it all back together, if anything, the video game guys should be knocking on the door going, Netflix, we want some of that money to that writer. Whoa, you didn't create that. You don't have, and this is what I think that this author, and other authors have called out the author of The Witcher on this for being flat out a dumbass. They've said, they've used this kind of language towards him. You don't understand, you don't have a Netflix series without this video game. Oh, that's not true. No, nobody in the world, nobody in the Western hemispheres would have known who the hell you were. The Witcher would never have made it over to the States, wouldn't have made it to North America. You were going to be big. And you're going to be big in Europe, which is the equivalent of being, big at, I don't know, Budokan. So, I don't know. But yeah, the Netflix deal doesn't go down if this video game wasn't available. So if anything, drop the lawsuit, quit being a moron, and send the video game developers a fruit basket with a thank you note, because now they won't get any of that Netflix money, and you're going to be able to, after seeing the success of the video game, now structure your business dealings with your lawyers on this Netflix deal to make sure you get big money.
And I think if he really presses that lawsuit, I think one of the things we'll run into is that the Netflix series, anything that the video game created, they then
they can probably get a percentage of.
Yep, they're like, hey, wait, no, that was us.
Yeah.
So that was not your book, that was us.
That's something to think about.
So give us $17.50.
Just $2.50?
$2.50. That's inflation, dude.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this week's GeekStorm. We hope you enjoyed it. Check us out next week where we're going to talk about some more stuff.